portal aperture science theme with the walls this time.
Let's see. It looks like we're going online soon. We've got we got Hammerspace on the other line that we're going to join here in a moment. I'm trying to find where their volume is. So let's see here. Looks like we're going online. We got stuff working. Now, we're not going to start the official stream until 6:30. So if you're joining us already, hey Nikhil, hey Sasha, Eccentric Nut, we are on, we are on. So we have a little bit of time before we start in earnest because we need to wait for a few things to line up first. So we've got about 4 minutes. 4 minutes before the official tour of Hammerspace. Hey Doug, Southeast Missouri, nice to see you there. I'm glad everything's working smoothly. Glad everything's working smoothly. I don't see... I don't see where to adjust their volume. Hopefully you'll be able to hear them. If anybody knows how to adjust Skype volume after you get rid of the little thing, let me know.
It's more like a gym.
We're going to be doing a tour of Hammerspace Workshop in Kansas City, Missouri in just a moment. Thanks to Digi-Key. Digi-Key wonderfully helped make this happen. We'll get to all that in a few moments. Randy, thanks for joining us. Doug, what you're hearing is actually Hammerspace on my other monitor. I don't know how to mute them in Skype because I don't use Skype a whole lot. And we'll just put up with it for now. Sorry. Figments Made, wonderful to see you on here. Eddie Light from Paris, nice to see you as well. Doug. So we have about 2 more minutes before we start the tour of Hammerspace Workshop in Kansas City, Missouri. And I can see it over here on my monitor. This place is incredible. Now I'm muted. They can't hear me talking about them. Maker's Mike. Yeah, you live close by. Well, you could have been there. You could still be. I'll bet you could be there before the stream is over. Because we're going to start the stream in about 2 minutes. We're going to start the tour, in about 2 minutes. If you can hear me. Sasha. Oh yeah, it's hammer time. Tool time. Whatever that means. We're about to get started. Somehow still 2 more minutes. And we're going to get started here.
2 more is fearlessly trying to save everybody from their excess calories.
Hello, Anthony. All right.
Overdressed camera person ever.
So, hopefully they don't say anything. They don't know we can hear them. Hopefully they don't say anything
we all have multiple applications.
too offensive. Okay. So we are about 1 minute out.
All right.
We're still just kind of warming everything up, but we are live. People are watching. We have, I don't know, maybe like 40 or 50 people connected right now watching already, but we're not officially started yet. Lukas from Poland, thanks for joining us. Let's see here. So, I'm going to do a quick intro here. Welcome to our Makerspace Live series. Doug, hurry up. Doug is 4 blocks away. He's going to hurry and try to get there before the tour is over. So let me get the intro done. Welcome to our Makerspace Live series presented by Make and Digi-Key. I want to give a big thanks to Digi-Key. It means so much to us that they were willing to sponsor this and make this happen as an act of goodwill towards the community instead of just doing what most normal companies would do, which is saying we have to promote their individual products. Digi-Key is saying promote the community, grow the community, and that's good for Digi-Key. So I'm going to say thank you to Digi-Key for sponsoring this. This is incredible. This is wonderful. I'm so happy. And let's get started. Let me switch the views here, and we will start our tour of Hammerspace Workshop in Kansas City, Missouri. Kansas City, Missouri. So, hi. Tell us who are you and what your space is.
And this is Hammerspace Workshop. We're a makerspace in Kansas City, home to over 100 makers at any given time who create all kinds of awesome stuff, like the things you see around. So tonight I'm going to take you on kind of a whirlwind tour of the space, where we'll stop by a lot of the tools and equipment and resources that we have here, make it easier to make awesome stuff. I always like to start in here because this is where the end result of creativity is. I mean, that's why we have all of these resources, is so people can make really awesome stuff. Here we have, you can't go to a makerspace without seeing all kinds of 3D printing. I'm sure everyone in this feed is more than familiar. But we like to take those 3D prints here at the space and rub some traditional art on them so that we can take things that are designed digitally and transform them into metal objects or rubber objects or other sorts of materials that you don't traditionally think of being from a 3D print. One example here, one of our makers, Michael Curry, made some chocolate terracotta warriors recently, and the leftover mold was used to turn out ingots of tin that look like terracotta warriors. So all of our excess pewter from the thrift store ends up looking like this.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Another thing that we've been doing a lot of recently is turning the rest of that pewter into laser cut coins that are, well, actually cast coins that are made in laser cut molds made of MDF. Really fun process, very approachable as long as you have access to a laser cut.
So you cut those on the laser, then cast them in MDF?
Yeah, so we have plates of MDF. Let's see if I can find one of these molds in here. Something that might be, generally we have a couple in here. Nope, not today. But we have planks of MDF that we can etch a design into and then layer them up to create coins or challenged coins, tokens, mythological coins. We do lots of various stuff for young makers who are just trying to learn the casting process. This is much more approachable than working with bronze or other high temperature metals, and lets them kind of have a bigger hand in a quick turnaround process of casting metal, which is always a lot more involved when you work with higher temperature. We have lots of other, this is something that's going on this week here at the space. We're making some shadow lamps, which are a lot of fun, where we can play with the gobo effect of point source lights and make
that is so cool
with unusual shadows.
So cool.
That's our cat lamp. Let's head on to the rest of the space. Out here is our classroom area where we teach a lot of our classes. Outside of class time, we use this as commons where our members gather and work on projects and hang out and chat and one-up one another with stupid ideas what we're going to build next. So behind me is our electronics lab. We've managed to cram 4 different electronic workbenches in here for doing all of our testing workbench and fabrication and prototyping with breadboards and jumper wires to oscilloscopes and multimeters, bench power supplies. Everything from a frequency counter to a Geiger counter.
See some reflow ovens there? Is that what that is?
Yeah, this is our old hand-built reflow oven on the left, and that has been actually working really well for us for small reflow jobs. But we have a larger digital reflow with our new pick-and-place system that's going in downstairs. So very soon we're going to have the ability to batch pick-and-place jobs for small electronic production.
Very nice.
Makers.
Very nice. Got a full house. I love seeing that.
Lisa, of course.
It is a huge 3D print. If people aren't familiar, that's probably Michael Curry's, right?
That is Michael Curry's. He decided it was just large enough to be creepy.
Yep. Yeah, he does lots of big prints. And for those of you who are concerned about the figure itself, the designer is a woman on Thingiverse. I forgot her name, but she designs these dolls. They're really interesting.
They really are. Actually, while we're on the topic, let's go take a look at Madame Fortuna. It actually features the same model, used to a different effect. So this is a fortune-telling tip jar.
It's
really hard to understand her, but it sounded like maybe she thanked you for the donation.
Probably not the clearest thing in the world.
I shall now give back the veil of time instead to the
But she uses the same model, but kind of has some crude animatronics attached. So
nice.
She'll move hands and animate.
Oh, I see. Very nice.
All right. Let's take a look at the 3D printing lab that she came out of.
Oh, okay.
So, about a dozen 3D printers that our members get access to while they're here at the space. Mostly Oni Technology printers, which were all fabricated right here in the space. Noel of Oni Technology has his 3D printing manufacturing business here in the space. He currently provides design consultation work out of the space as well. But the minis are nice to get a bunch of distributed prints going for small parts that you may need a lot of.
Man, that's a lot. That's a lot of printers. But I guess when you're doing giant stuff like that doll, and some of the other stuff I've seen Michael do, you really need a lot of that, don't you?
Yeah, some big printers have been necessary. We've got a sewing lab in here, sewing, embroidery, all the dress dummies and costuming supplies, and some of the stuff that doesn't really go in the silk screening lab.
Oh, hey, Paul Cumber says, happy birthday, Dave.
Oh, thanks.
And there's actually, I believe that's Dave and Beck's son.
It is. Yeah, he's sitting in front of his Wayback Machine, something he's very proud of.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, who's still loading 5 1/4 floppies into a drive.
First of my generation to format a floppy the right way.
Very nice.
But the Wayback Machine is entirely comprised of an antiquated technology. You can talk to things like old MIDI devices. Silk screening lab in here, not a whole lot to see, but a nice dark room to get screens developed.
Brondo, the Thirst Mutilator. I've used that before. It actually works. At least it did.
It's what plants crave. So. Through our access door out here to the danger zone, we've got our hallway of protected gear. Behind me is the assembly room. This is where we have all of the equipment for taking things apart.
Oh my goodness, look at that. I'm so jealous. I hadn't visited your new space yet. For those who don't know, I live only a couple hours away from them, and I had not seen this actual space yet. This is incredible.
Yeah, if you like woodworking, get a load of the clamps over here because that's always what the woodworkers fixate on. We actually can satisfy your urge for enough clamps.
That is crazy. And it's also organized. Did you guys clean up just for this, or are you always that organized?
Yeah, they're pretty much always disorganized. We have a lot of activity here, and I'm kind of constantly shuffling tools back onto their correct spots. But you would be amazed what a clean shop does for creativity. It's really, really nice for people who just have the urge to come out and hop on an empty table.
Man, it's crazy. Oh, our executive editor, Mike Sinise, has joined. He asked if that was the former CNC room. No, this is a new building, Mike.
All new. Standard, lathes, saws, drill presses, mortising machines, router tables, table saws.
So I'm noticing these panels on the wall back there in the background that look kind of custom. Is that something you guys did?
We made all of these ourselves. Actually, our members all pitched in on the labor to build these custom modular panels. We kind of went with a psychotic underground science lab sort of theme.
So when you said it was portal themed, okay, I get it now. Now I get it.
And so these panels, like, no expenses were spared, no corners were cut except for the corner cutting machine. So these were all cut on laser cutters, and you would be surprised how affordable it is to make your own pegboard when you need glossy pegboard. Glossy pegboard is tremendously expensive, and this is thrifty white from the big box store. Just that cheap white basement wall paneling cut into custom panel on gray squares of 2x4, assembled into modular panels that we can take apart and reassemble into new wall units whenever we need.
That is wild. That is so cool.
They've got raceways built into the interior so we can run new wiring and compressed air lines and all that stuff, and then zip the wall back up, and we're back in business. We probably have the only Alexa powered computer around us.
So that was a little bit hard to hear, but did you just say that was Alexa-powered workshop control?
What's that?
I said that was a little hard to hear. Did you say that was Alexa-powered workshop control? It sounded like you turned on your dust collection system?
Alexa-powered dust collection system. So our dust collector and a lot of the other systems here have automation, and because we have the Alexa for enunciation here, they are incidentally voice commandable.
Nice.
Apparently it's pretty steep.
Having a little parade here. Oh, nice outfit on the dog. Is that Rambo? Yeah.
Hambo.
Hambo. Oh my goodness, it just keeps going.
Yeah, it goes on and on. Over here we've got planers, jointers, drum sanders, panel saws, lumber racks, sheet goods storage. We provide lots of sheet goods and some dimensioned lumber here at the space, which is available for purchase or for use as part of one of our digital fabrication services. So we have a laser shop over here in this little hut that is full of 6 laser cutters to supply all of the demands of our laser cutting clients and members here at the space. Behind us is our CNC shop. With a couple of
Got a couple sizable machines there. My goodness, that I know how big that shop bot is. How big is that monster?
Hey, this monster is 6 foot by 10 foot. So there really isn't sheet goods available that we can't output on this machine.
Very nice.
Once upon a time, it was a Gerber Advantage. Now it's been lobotomized and properly modernized.
Nice.
Michael did the same to the ShopBot. When we got this, it was just a rolling frame, essentially. No electronics, no motors, nothing. So this one was rebirthed with a water-powered spindle and some of our own hardware, certainly our own control.
Very cool. Very cool. So you don't have to use their software. You can just use standard Mach 3 or something.
It runs on Mach 3.
Nice.
We've got a mixing and molding and casting area over here. There's a little mixing room with the vacuum domes, pressure pods, baker table, all the stuff we're doing, resin casting and silicone mold making. Poke our head in the laser shop a little bit.
Yeah, let's see the lasers. My goodness.
So there's always just so much going on in here. This shop is busy 10, 12 hours a day.
That thing is huge.
I get that a lot. Another big scary laser.
My goodness. Now, if I remember right, you had like small businesses operating out of your space using lasers, right?
We do. There's maybe 24 local small businesses that produce almost all of their custom parts for laser cutting service.
Very cool.
A couple of Epilogue Minis, super reliable units. We like them.
Hey, Michael.
Norris, the shoemaker's big pro. We don't know anybody with a bunch of awesome CNC machines or laser cutters to make a cool looking door.
Uh-huh. My God, it's still going. Surprised you didn't need a golf cart to show the tour.
Aaron's over here being very but this is the metal shop. This is where we keep all of the smithereen. Blacksmithing area with propane forges and anvils, hammers, tongs, everything you need for doing the hot sparky stuff. Lots of cutting equipment for metal, everything from chop saws to a dedicated metal cutting table saw to band saws, chop saws, probably one of the few old reciprocating power hacksaws still in operation. Lots of belt sander and wire wheels, grindstone, bumping wheels, stone shears, presses, punches, brakes, all the cold forging and bending stuff, the machining center, the manual mill, the CNC mill, the lathe, and our brand new Journeyman 325, well, new to us. Fresh from the 80s, our new CNC mill.
Oh, it's still got the wood chocks on. You haven't fired that up yet.
No, we just moved it into place like 20 minutes ago.
Oh my goodness.
It's always Makerspace Santa Claus over here. Someone is showing up with something amazing that we now have to run wires to and provide air power for and all the fun steps over the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Down here we have the welding, jewelry smithing. This area is the welding station. There's dark welding here and in these booths on my right. And then silver soldering, brazing station.
Oh my God, this place is incredible. I thought your old place was awesome, but this is just incredible.
We are so happy to have found this place. This is our molding and casting for metal. So vacuum casting system for doing lost wax casting in this variety of perforated flasks. So anything up to about this volume in bronze, we can cast, or silver or aluminum, other metals. All the melters back here in the corner, burnout oven for the lost wax process. And because we have 3D printers, we have the option of 3D printing lots of things and then casting bronze. Other materials. CNC plasma cutter.
Nice.
This one we had at our old space, so it's just a 2x2 because we had pretty limited square footage over there. But pretty soon this is going to become a larger unit. At the moment, though, it happily cuts parts up to 2 feet by 2 feet, things like these ferry weights, steel, or complicated mechanical parts.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone knows how hard pentagons are to cut, so. Jewelry smithing bench on this wall, so rawhide mallards, ring and bracelet mandrels, the small anvils, adapting blocks, rolling mills for making your own ring stock, shrinkers, stretchers, marble slabs for standing on, wax injectors for injecting silicone molds for making your own waxes for jewelry work. Presses and rotary carving tools and files and jeweler stuff. Pretty much everything you need for all the metalworking that I can imagine.
Just incredible. So is that the entirety of the space?
No, it isn't. Follow me this way.
Oh, goodness.
So out here's the member parking lot where we have storage facilities available, all kinds of storage units for the unruly hoarder amongst us. Are we not all hoarders amongst the maker community?
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of room to store obtainium for your project.
What am I seeing there in the distance?
Oh, that's one of my members, Jeff, and his more dirt post-apocalyptic vehicle.
What? Oh, nice skulls. Oh, and the one up on the breather. Fantastic.
Right?
Up on the snorkel there.
You got to take a once around.
That is fantastic. Oh, and a trailer too. Yep. It's got everything but visibility. More dirt. That's funny.
And then the store is down here.
This, all right. So the store is what? Where people can buy supplies and kits and stuff?
All supplies, sandpaper, duct tape, super glue.
So, what are your hours of operation? When can people come in? Oh my goodness, you've got like a legit store.
People can come in from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. when the office is open, and if they're members of the space, they can get in as early as 7 a.m. and as late as 11 p.m.
Very nice.
Behind me, you can see all sorts of interesting stuff that's getting made from our consulting designers down here. Michael and Tom both provide design consultation services so that you can get custom products like the photo booth, light rings, give you instructions here on a tablet, take your photo. All of that was machined out of bamboo on one of the CNC machines here at the space.
That's fantastic.
Michael's also hard at work on this replica of the Western Auto sign here with some new LED neon.
Oh, I love that stuff.
It's amazing. We're loving it. It's all CNC machined MDF with that LED neon pressed in.
Nice.
I'm going to do a scale model of the Western Auto sign just for fun.
Very nice.
And then microelectronics components, consumable supplies, kits.
Jeez.
Coming soon behind me. This room's still under construction, but we just demolished a wall and we're putting 2 small offices together to be our pick and place lab and vinyl sign making lab. Basically our clean room area for the stuff that we want to keep dust free.
That is crazy.
And then that kind of loops back around to our classroom.
So now we're coming back to where we started, right?
We have come full circle.
That is fantastic. So for anybody who's looking at this and getting super jealous, it wasn't always this massive and wonderful and perfect. How long have you guys been around, and how did you get started?
Well, we got started in 2011, and we were just kind of a scrappy group of about 30 local Hackerspace members who wanted a more tool-centric makerspace. And I threw down for the property, and everybody else threw down for the participation. And here we are, 7-8 years later, and we are definitely a lot bigger than we started out.
In only 8 years. That's incredible. So let's see here on the chat. We've had several people commenting about how clean it is, saying it's a little suspect, and they don't know if they can trust you. Mike Sinise, executive editor, is just blown away by your space. And here we have a question. Is there anything that you guys don't have that you really want?
Well, we're eyeballing a fast hydraulic press for doing blacksmithing work, where we've been avoiding getting a power hammer just because of the, mayhem that they can cause. And I'm an experienced blacksmith, and I teach a lot of those classes here. And it's one of the things that would give my poor aching shoulder a rest. So we're looking at that as a tool investment. It's rare for us to go out and hunt down a tool. Usually they find it nuts.
Yeah.
But this is one of those things that we are.
Wow. So I've already posted the link to your site in the chat, but just in case somebody's watching this later, how would somebody find you guys?
Well, if honestly just hunt for Hammerspace on the internet, we're hard to miss. We have a page on Facebook and our website at hammerspacehobby.com or hammerspacec.com, where you can find information about our digital fabrication services, our laser cutting, CNC routing, plasma cutting, other, easy to access CAD to CAM services, where we take your drawings and turn them into finished machine parts, or our list of upcoming classes, like our blacksmithing classes, silksmithing, woodworking, and arcade.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So one of the things, I've seen a whole lot of maker spaces and hacker spaces and fab labs and community workshops, whatever you want to call them. I've seen a whole lot of them that have different models of being able to support themselves and generate revenue and find new members. And you guys, you do classes, right? You just mentioned classes, and what we're seeing here, that's the result of a class, right?
This is the result of a class. Yeah, this is 1 of our bigger flagship classes. We do 1 or 2 big sort of grandiose classes a year, things that are maybe higher dollar products that you produce in those classes than our regular skills-based classes. But this is one we did for Maker Faire this year. We weren't really satisfied with some of the Raspberry Pi arcade kits that were out there. They were expensive and kind of ramshackle, and we wanted something that felt like a really old school arcade. Anne, who's our graphic designer with our design services here, did all of these beautiful graphics for the sides that are Gauntlet or Nintendo or...
Yeah, those are fantastic. I really like that yellow one.
Yeah, this is my favorite.
That's fantastic.
It's like those classic stencils that they'd spray paint on the cabinets back in the day when they didn't have the finished graphic on the side. Or this one behind us that's the two-seater Furquan Masters head-to-head unit, which is, you know, a mythical cabinet at this point.
Nice, nice. So what are some of the skills-based classes that you guys offer?
Well, we do a lot of blacksmithing and silversmithing, woodworking, and design classes. So how to use a vector drawing program to make files that you can use to run the plasma cutter or CNC machines or the other.
Very nice. Oh, here's one. First couple of years I knew about you guys. I saw Hammerspace and didn't think anything of it. I thought, well, that's a clever name for a community workshop. But it's more than that. You mind telling us what Hammerspace is?
Well, Hammerspace is the mythical dimension that cartoon characters reach into to withdraw massive hammers. Actually, I've got Ramona Flowers on my shirt from Scott Pilgrim versus the World that literally reaches into Hammerspace and withdraws our logo from Hammerspace, which we were sitting in the theater laughing when we saw that, when we could see the production of this. But yeah, it's a trope in animation that cartoons can produce ridiculously large objects from behind their back. So we decided that Hammerspace is your personal place to keep giant tools that you can withdraw at a moment's notice.
That is perfect. That is perfect. Very cool. Well, do you have any makers that want to show us stuff they've built?
Sure. I've got some folks out here who'd probably love to show off their stuff.
We've got about maybe 10 minutes left.
Sure. I'm going to take over for Beck here. Say hello, Beck, my lovely camera lady.
Hi, Beck. Thanks for carrying the camera. I hope your arms don't fall off.
And say hi, Kai.
Hi, Kai.
All right, Chris.
Hello. Yeah, I'm working on a 40-pixel grid. So this is simply a set of pixels that you can control each pixel. And it's simply to answer the question, if you could display something in 40 pixels in a large space, what kind of things would you display? I don't really have any idea what to display, but figuring out how to do it and how to code it and how to make patterns and how to respond to sounds or anything like that is kind of what I'm interested in figuring out.
Yeah, and these little units make that really approachable. We used to have to drill holes in ping pong balls and do other sorts of absurd things to get diffusers for the LEDs, but these new packages are kind of cool. They make doing that sort of low-res display a lot easier.
Very nice.
And then, you know, your standard Uno for controls. Tom, what do you got over here?
Oh, I'm display the next week for the FollowBot.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the FollowBot is fantastic. I love this. So this unassuming piece of plywood here on the underside has the remnants of surplus hoverboards, which have been hacked in order to provide a very low-tech follow ability. So this is a joystick controller sort of gizmo from a Japanese golf game. PlayStation golf game. So this cord gives us one axis of control that's all analog on this. You know, let's see if I can get that in the shot. There we go.
Oh, I see it spinning there.
So
right in the middle of the frame. You can barely make it out.
This is essentially a multi-axis joystick. So if you attach this lanyard to your belt, our bot here can follow at a fixed distance and carry your cooler with all of your beers or your sodas or your heavy equipment for Maker Faire or your other broken robot that's now too heavy to move around. So at a fixed distance, it will just begin to follow this cord.
It is on.
Yeah, I was stopping just shy of the trigger distance so it doesn't, rocket off of the table onto the floor. But
This is based on Nicholas Palm's project. Do all the firmware tweaks.
Didn't catch that.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. It's based on Nicholas Paul, which is a maker out of Germany who did a lot of the hacking.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
And then over here we have a Halloween advent calendar
Nice.
that's being worked on by Jonathan over here. So we're all counting the days till Halloween around here. So he's come up with a way to spring load these little tombstones on his advent calendar so you can get your daily dose of chocolate and build up an immunity before a Halloween night.
Okay.
And anybody else got something they're working on? Aaron, you got to go grab your shield. So I'm actually wearing some of Aaron's art, but
That ring.
yeah,
Back up away from the camera a little bit.
yeah.
There we go. Oh, that's cool.
So titanium and Timascus billet style square ring, beautiful piece. And then Aaron is holding his titanium bulletproof Captain America shield. So this is made of armor spec titanium plate that's been rolled to resemble that classic heater shield design from the World War II Captain America, and will actually stop all conventional handgun rounds.
Wow.
Confirmed.
We really need to shoot it.
Well, there's the corners that were left over held up quite well at the range.
So you took the scraps to the range?
Yeah, I
That's
took
funny.
the scrap at the range, shot it with a 357 Magnum, and it didn't put a dent in it. Shot it with a 30-06, and it went straight through. So somewhere in between those is its limit.
Oh, wow. That is so cool.
Probably the only titanium Captain America shield. I haven't seen another one.
We're going to be doing these for Halloween. We've got a prop scare class where we're building animated props that make noises and move using skeletons.
Oh, that is cool. Very cool. Wow. That is nice. Another member project there.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. This place is incredible. I am just blown away by how cool this space is. I wish I lived closer. I'd be up there all the time. Shoot, I could save some money instead of buying so many tools for myself. It's so cool. You know, that picture right there actually reminds me, you kind of touched on it a tiny bit earlier, but people can hire you guys to build stuff, right?
That is correct, as long as it's primarily digital fabrication, but occasionally design build work, especially through our two consulting designers here.
So I've seen a little bit of some of the stuff you guys did. I remember once you were showing off some taps for like a bar, the beer taps. You guys did some custom work on those, molded stuff.
Those were really cool. I've got those in here. The tap handles for Rohard were an especially fun project. Let's see, where did they end up? No, there they are. So this is a tap handle meant to look like an old-time patent medicine bottle on an ivory pedestal, so that you can purchase hard root beer at a bar instead of in a can, because without this, who's going to walk up to the bartender and say, "Give me a hard root beer"? Probably no one. So they could not find anyone to produce the relatively small volume of this product that they needed. There's this gulf for small manufacturers who are struggling between that prototype and the 30,000 parts that you need to utilize traditional manufacturing. And there's a lot of good business to be had in that realm. So we do micro manufacturing. So when someone needs, a couple hundred steel butterflies, we can do that affordably.
That is fantastic. And they can find you through your website or through Facebook. And that's Hammerspace Hobby, was it .com? Hammerspacehobby.com?
Yes, hammerspacehobby.com.
Perfect.
And then some of those things even extend to mold making and casting. So doing, silicone molds and resin and wax.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that fits in there. Very nice. Very nice. Well, I think, unless there's any other makers that are standing around really wanting to show off what they've got, what they've made, I think we may call that a wrap. This place is just simply incredible, and I feel like we could spend all night just looking at the cool things laying around that have been produced over geez, those are so cool. That have been produced over the years. But I think we're going to go ahead and cut it short. Oh, quick question from Eddie Light. Do you have a kiln for ceramics?
We do. We do use the kiln we have actually several different kilns for things like burning out and heat treating, and then a ceramics kiln as well.
Yeah.
And then here in Kansas City, we're very fortunate to have the Kansas City Clay Guild.
Oh, that's
which
right.
Is a dedicated clay-based makerspace that's been around for about 20 years, long before most other makerspaces. And they have a fantastic setup over there for doing ceramics. So if you're in the Kansas City area, definitely check them out.
Perfect. All right. So if you want to just stay on the line here with us for a moment, Dave, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the live stream. I'm going to switch over here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you so much. I want to again thank Digi-Key. Go to Digi-Key.com and check them out. Just like Hammerspace has every tool you could imagine, Digi-Key has all the parts that you could possibly need to build your electronics projects. And the most important thing is they're awesome enough to understand and value supporting the community. So they do things like support us doing a video series purely based on promoting the maker community. Thanks again, Digi-Key. We love you. Thank you so much. Thanks to Hammerspace and the whole crew over there, Beck and Dave, for giving us a tour. And that's it. We'll see you guys next month. We're going to be checking out a space, I believe, in Portland. You'll have to check the schedules on that. But we'll see you next month at the next Makerspace Live.